Got before of Brittney and Molly, and now I came in with Molly, and she's muzzled, which makes giving her treats a little harder. I have her on leash just in case she decides to go after Brittney. She hasn't gone after Brittney in the past. She's also on e-collar, so I'll correct her if she goes after Brittney. Brittney's just going to do what Brittney feels comfortable doing.
Good girl.
It's hard for her to get the cookies, but she can get them. It's just frustrating for her. Your fault.
Good girl.
Good. Yes, I would mark that because she backed off you, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is so funny because she's even sat up on the thing with me at group.
Mm-hmm.
And licked me.
Yeah, it's always on her terms. But then she changes her mind.
Very quickly. Happy girl. Good girl. Yes.
Try kneeling down, seeing how you feel about that. Kneel down and turn your side to her.
What do you mean, like this?
Yep. There you go.
Good girl. Yes. Sit. Can you sit? Yes. What's with the foot? I know her weak link too, so when we're training, I'll just pull out
You feel
the ball.
comfortable walking her?
I'll just pull out the ball.
You feel comfortable taking her for a walk?
Yeah. She's different when she knows that she can't do something.
Now, if for any reason she decides to go after you, string her up. She can't bite you. String her up, okay? Up, straight up. Short leash.
I'm a short person, so that...
It's alright.
How would I do that? Like, just
Well,
up?
you would be holding her close to her collar and string her up.
Just up.
The more leash she has, the more she can get away from you and bite you.
Yeah.
But you want it to be a consequence for her going after you.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to, but go ahead and take her down and just walk her around.
Come on. Good girl, Mama. Come on. And the scissors. Okay, come on. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, we'll get you out of the guts.
You can try to, that little slot right here. You hold the cookie and let her
I tried that, but she sticks her nose down first.
She will. She can't bite you, though.
Oh, I know
That's
that.
the thing.
What are you doing? He's being silly. Come here, let's go to the pool. I know you like the pool. Good girl.
So with a dog like this, your goal is to show her you're not a threat, right? So you do all the walking and leash work and healing and all that while using treats, but you're not going to pet her because petting is going to be... Actually, there's two ways to do this. If she was a shelter dog, we'd go straight to the petting because we'd have to teach her.
I don't trust her with the petting.
I know, but we would have to teach her that when somebody reaches for you, you don't bite them because once you build a relationship, she's going to let you pet her, right?
Yeah.
So if she was a shelter dog, we'd have to skip the relationship part and go straight to the petting because we'd have to teach her that she cannot act like that because in a shelter, you don't have time to have the people build a relationship, right? So you have to fix the fact that they want to bite everybody that touches them. But because she's an own dog and she can build relationships and we can take her time and she's in a safe environment, we can work on teaching her to have more friends through leadership.
Now, more than her teeth. Yeah.
So you start with the relationship piece, working her without touching her, and then she gets comfortable with you, and then she starts allowing you to touch her more and more and more. And then she makes more friends, and the touching becomes less concerning and all that stuff.
Well, because I remember the first time I met her, which was the first time she came here, and she was fine with me petting her, and then
she went after you.
One pet that I did,
yeah,
she just changed her mind.
Yeah, she wants to have friends, but she's nervous about strangers touching her.
Yeah,
that's why in a shelter you have to do the opposite. You have to just go straight to having confident trainer type people doing the handling piece and fixing that piece. Because you don't want it to be about a relationship. You want it to be about people touch you and you can't go after them.
Good girl.
because she's an own dog, we don't have to do it that way.
You had to let me do it. There you go.
But this is exactly why in shelters, you get a lot of dogs that a volunteer goes in and sits with the dog and feeds the dog treats, and they're always the one feeding the dog, and the dog warms up to them, and that person's not a scary person anymore, and then that person sees this great dog, but then everybody else that comes around the dog's growling and biting it, right? And then that one volunteer or that one staff member that befriended the dog is like, it's a great dog, and doesn't understand why everybody doesn't like the dog. Well, because they had the time and pleasure to get to know the dog, but not everybody that walks into a shelter is going to have time to do that. So you have to fix that in a different way at a shelter.
Good girl. Yes.
Good.
She's letting me actually hold her mouth to stick it up through that hole, too.
Now, what I do know about Molly is she's either afraid of you or you've worked through the relationship thing and she's solid with you, right? The reason she bit at you that first day is because you hadn't had any relationship with her. She thought, oh my God, I want petted by you, got in your space, and then went, oh my God, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Right? Where with me, I worked through the relationship piece with her before I ever tried to pet her. So by the time I went to pet her, we had a relationship, and she was like, I love you, why aren't you petting me?
Yeah.
So I made her work to get me to pet her. That was the only difference. But, I mean, we didn't know that she acted that way. We thought she was wary of strangers, and then it was really a handling thing.
Yeah.
Because she acts friendly around strangers, but then they touch her, and then she explodes. So that's a handling thing, not a stranger thing.
Yeah.
It's not like she sees a stranger and starts growling and lunging.
Yes.
It's when they reach for her, when they want to touch her, or even when she solicits petting and then decides, uh-oh, that was a mistake. Good. Okay.